welcome you watching Youthquake with me, Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. It was just last week that we came to you from Delhi University, where we had fiery students, college students, seeking jobs, talking about the travesty of the SSC scam, the leaks there. There, one of the students said, what is next? Will CBSE and ICSE also get leaked? And now our worst nightmares have come true. The first time in decades, both class 10th and class 12th papers of various subjects were leaked. CBSE had now come out to say that there will be a re-examination. So today, we come to you from the classroom to try and understand from students, teachers, parents and experts, what does this really mean? Because remember, it's not just a student taking that examination, it's the entire team behind them as well. The question we're asking is, it's not the students, but has the CBSE failed examinations this year around? I want to give the first word to students here. You guys both gave your class 12th this time, class 10th this time, and you'll be giving a re-exam. Are you kicked about that, or?
Just my point on it is like, we are, giving exams due to, like, we're paying for the mistakes that were not even committed by us. But then at the end of the day, I feel like we should give exams because it's unfair that the cheaters, you can't just let them get it away with it.
It's upsetting that because of somebody else's mistakes, you have to go back to the books again.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There's somebody here who's actually had to cancel their flight back home. Where do you come from? Tell me your name and what's happening with you now with this re-examination.
My name is Anish Goel.
Yeah?
Due to re-examination, I have to cancel my ticket to Nepal and I have to stay and again study. So I'm very sad.
But are you okay giving the exam again, or is
No.
it? No? No?
Yeah.
That went all right, and now you just want to go and throw away your books and have some fun.
Yes.
So we've got an understanding of what the students are saying. I also wanted to, specifically for the program, bring in the parents as well. I remember my time in board exams, they were stressful. Parents, many of the mothers were sitting in front of temples, trying to get some work done. Parents are stressed as well. But during this time, I see a lot of parents trying to fix the responsibility on CBSE, saying that we work hard for our students, we were behind them, but CBSE failed them miserably. Is that the view?
Actually, I have point of view from both sides.
Okay.
I want it to reconduct because we are the one who is going to change the system. If we will not talk about it, then who will talk about it? And if we see it from the perspective of students, those who have done a lot of hard work, I feel that it should not reconduct again because somewhere.
So you're torn as a mother. You don't know which way to swing. As a teacher, somebody who's teaching them good values in class, does it break your belief in the system?
It does, definitely. And but it's not the first time it has happened. For us who've been in this field forever, it's been happening, but it's been highlighted this year because of the media coverage and the social media taking charge of it. But definitely it's very, very sad. And it's just not, I believe, 2 papers. It may be many more.
CBSE clearly wasn't prepared for these. There are going to be people out there who are going to try and outsmart. And as the crime branch is at it and we're getting updates on how they're getting after coaching centers and all of that, as a teacher, as a principal who's telling students what to do, how to take life lessons, when stuff like this happens, what do you go back and tell your students really?
Well, I'll always tell the students that we need to be proactive in terms of what to do next. No point crying over what has happened because that's a system which is much more beyond CBSE. So you can't target CBSE per se that CBSE is at fault and let's do this and let's do that. It's about doing the fair thing. And CBSE is right in going for a retest.
Then you'll have students come back to you and say that this happened with the SSC scam. There was a massive outrage. You had students on the roads, sleeping on the roads for 19 days straight, compelling the government to order a CBI probe in this. Now you've had the CBSE. Now they're saying there are even more papers. So where does the buck stop here?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, that is a second aspect. Let us talk about the students. So students should be
as an educationalist, as somebody who's talking about the field, there's one thing to motivate your kids. But as a fraternity, how do you see this?
So how do we teach them that if something goes wrong, what should you do in life? We should always have a second chance. This value is in itself a big value. That we don't accept defeat and just let it go. So that means, are we preparing this or telling the students that whatever wrong happens, let it go? It's okay. No, certainly not. We have to tell them that, yes, something wrong has happened, but your learning and our learning is we need to look at the right thing which can be done.
So
and the right
prove
thing
them
is,
wrong, kids will have to come back and work
There'll be a
double.
problem, yes.
They-
I know,
they,
the
they'll
kids
have
will
to
have
come
to-
back and do it.
Maybe
But I
that's-
have a different view here. What's that?
Well, yes, I tend to disagree with the gentleman there. So CBSE has big time lost its credibility. So 3 million people are being made to go through that grind of and the stress. We are into psychometrics a lot and psychology. It really pains us and hurts us as people who are experts on psychology and especially related to children. It is so shocking that the stress is not being understood by anybody around. These politicians, these people who are in favor of having that exam again. For 3 million people, it's not, they're not the same. I mean, there must be some students who are very good at it. You know, and they are willing to take another shot and maybe improve their grades and percentages. There are some who just barely, that little girl over there who was, my heart went out to you, beta. It's really so sad that...
Let me take that question to the kids here. Do you really think those who, just show me hands again, who all wanted to sit for a re-exam? Do you think it's going to be really as stressful? Or, you know, you've got people saying that there are stress levels. I mean, I don't want to bring it up here, but we're at a time when people are breaking down. Kids can't take pressure anymore. We're in this millennial world where depression rates are going up. And all of you, when you hear that, do you want to give in to it, or do you feel it's time to fight back? What's the sentiment?
I think we should fight back because it's not the first time we're going to feel the pressure again. And, like, we need to, like, give justice to everyone. So even if it's at the cost of like taking more time, but we need to give like justice to
There's a matter of principle and then there's a matter of hard work. Yeah, tell me.
I think if they're talking about justice, they're talking that people who've cheated should be, you know, they should just go behind the bars. It's like if it's not only 2 subjects that have been leaked. The papers have been leaked. There are many of them. So if they're talking about justice, then there should be a re-exam for every subject that we've given.
Oh Lord.
So then we have to
have
go
agreements on that. How many of you want a re-exam of the entire schedule altogether? I think no one. No one. You know the reason, I was just thinking, why would somebody, exams are something that people prepare for all the while. The reason why people in tuition centers and coaching centers are after these leaks is because so important they are. The amount of stress kids go through just preparing for these exams. So isn't that the whole system that we're looking at? Shouldn't there be a real good rethink into why we are putting our kids into so much stress for marks and for percentages?
True, absolutely. I agree on that. And I think the revamping of the system is very much required. With the right kind of, we're living in a Google age, and we know that, you know, the right, what is right and what is wrong, what can work in a country like India and what cannot. So if we as stakeholders, whether it's the students, whether it's the teachers, whether it is the parents, you know, each one of us will have to take a stand on that. And then alone, I think things can change. So it's just once that we are talking of a re-exam, but then things have, I think the last time, you know, that had happened and was reported sometime was in 2005. But now, because of the social media and a lot of other things that are coming up, there's more pressure. And if we talk from a student's point of view, the kind of stress, of course, parents are, I think, more competitive than the students themselves, and the kind of things that, you know, the expectation levels. So the kind of expectation levels that are rising day by day from the parents' point of view, from the schools, you know, to get their kind of results. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the plight of the students.
And that's the reason why all these leaks happen.
I want to say a line here that definitely, from the point of view of philosophizing, you know, that children should learn to live life the hard way if it comes. Whether you teach or you don't, life teaches you. But one doesn't want to go through it by choice, and especially also when it is not their fault. So somewhere down the line, and I must appreciate the children who are saying they want to take the exam again, but my heart goes out to those children as a teacher. I know those 5 students who I have counseled, I have motivated, inspired. I know the kind of trauma they have gone through. And then they were very happy when they came with all that, you know, pepping up and counseling that, ma'am, I did well. And then all over again. So I'm more
I just want to bring in a perspective here. We are we're shooting with kids from Delhi and NCR, and you know, we are very, very privileged kids. I was interacting with some of them who come from rural India, who had to travel all the way, make sure that finances are in place, just reach the center and give them exam. It's taking a major, major hit for all those kids. Sir, don't you feel, I mean, while you say that the CBSE should not be blamed for it, but isn't it their responsibility?
leaks have been happening. When I was a student, I think somebody had offered me 5,000 rupees. Offered me in the sense that you give 5,000, we'll give a paper.
What did you do?
I
watch carefully, your
my
students
father
are
would have
listening.
trashed me. I never had 5,000 bucks. And that was not the age when we had the mobiles, right? So at the click of a button, you can spread it along nationally, internationally. So that time it was in people who could just have it with them. But this time, you have a mobile, you just click it, and everybody has the paper then.
I want to, understand more from you guys. Tell me, how was actually preparing for board exams for you people this time around? What did parents say, and what are you expecting?
My parents were like really stressed more than me. Like you have to get above 85, otherwise you won't get science. So that was one pressure for me. Otherwise, then like I studied the maths book the whole year, and then the last 6 days I had to go to the whole book, each and every sum, and at the end it's like a paper leak. When I came out of the center, I was like, I'll get 80 or 80, and one of the parents said the paper leak. I was so disappointed at that point of time. I really wanted to cry and like put the, the, what do you call it?
CBSE.
Yeah, like the people who had the paper behind the bars. So like I was really tense, angry at that.
He's shaking. He's shaking by saying that. I can truly understand. What was it? Was it any different for you?
Actually, it was. My parents were really supporting, and my teachers and everybody, they're so supporting that my stress levels were comparatively low, but I had a lot of sleepless nights because I am that kind of student who's always into, too much of, it does matter to me, even a percent, even a 0.5. But at the end of the day, when I think about it, I think they're just examinations, and at the end of the day, whatever I score, I gave it my best.
Well
it does not
said.
matter.
I say very, very,
It
very,
does not
very
matter.
well said. It does not matter.
It does not matter.
What about you guys? How was it for you people?
I think I wasn't so worried about my marks. I wasn't so worried about what percentage I will get. I was okay with 80% or even less.
But you're in 10th standard, right?
Yeah. And my mother was way tense. She was like, you have to get a 90%. What will the people say? There's a competition. If that person gets a 95, you have to get a 94. No way you're getting 94 and less. I'm like, yeah, that's okay, but I don't want to get that much.
Yeah.
And
what did they say what did they say to you when they heard about the exam leak?
My mom was like, did you get the paper? I'm like, I wish I could, but then she was like, why didn't you get the paper? You should have got the paper. You would have scored so much. I'm like, no, I don't want the paper exactly, because I want to do what I have to do, and I don't want to get marks because I am not capable of getting it and just mugged up things and did it.
Well said. Very, very well said. Well said that.